Okay, we're good to go again, and we're with a new squadron now. So let's find out exactly what they're about.
Lieutenant Commander Cordova here. Welcome to the 242nd Suicide Kings, pilot. I've heard from unofficial channels that the rebels have launched a surprise attack in the Epsilon Pegasi system. Details at this point are sketchy below phi-level clearance, and Command is in no hurry to fill us in. Petrarch says he'll brief the Aquitaine when we reach Capella.
Alright.
The GTA formed the Suicide Kings in the Great War, when the old Valkyrie fighter went into service after the Shivan attack on Ross 128. The 242nd was stationed on the Galatea back then, and our first mission was the capture of Lieutenant Alexander McCarthy. We all studied the McCarthy trials in school, pilot. We're a part of history here, though the Galatea is long gone, and the Valkyrie has since been retired.
Yes, you might remember that from the first game, but what's very memorable about this guy is how he mispronounces so many words. Pilot, Valkyrie, and nobody can quite tell where he's from. He sounds vaguely British, but I wouldn't hazard to place his accent anywhere. Must be one of the really strange ones that developed when we hit space.
The Perseus is the next generation interceptor, the fastest fighter in the GTVA. Our primary combat role is charging bombers and chasing down warheads. We're also assigned to surgical strikes against bigger warships. We're not called the Suicide Kings for nothing, pilot. We earn that name on every mission. For that reason, I suggest you review the Perseus training modules as soon as possible. There you'll learn how to target bombs and turrets, and everything else you need to serve in an intercept squadron.
Right.
You are now authorized to use the GTM-43A Stiletto II missile, designed to incapacitate subsystems. The 43A improves on the original Stiletto design by modifying its guidance systems and disruptor charge. The Stiletto also boasts a more powerful propulsion system, increasing its speed and effective range.
That is very true. It's much more useful than stilettos ever were in FreeSpace, the original. Now our very last training mission, which of course I won't show because it's mostly a guy telling me to do things and then me doing them, with no risk or excitement involved. So, transition to the first real mission with the Suicide Kings and, working as an intercept squadron.
Well done, pilot. You have successfully completed TSM-122X, Advanced Qualification for the Perseus Intercept Fighter. Good luck with your upcoming assignment.
Okay, training is all done. I don't think we'll have to do any of that ever again if we so choose. On to the actual game and story.
36 hours ago, the NTF launched a full-scale offensive in Epsilon Pegasi, taking the GTVA 6th Fleet by surprise. Commanding his forces from the NTD Repulse, Rear Admiral Koth leads the rebel advance. With 75% of our forces in this system decimated, the regional death toll since the incursion now exceeds 80,000.
Wow.
Unless we act quickly, decisive rebel victory is imminent.
Not sure what noise I just made, but it wasn't a good one.
The GTD Aquitaine will lead the Allied counterstrike against Koth and his warships. We will resupply in Capella before shipping out to the front. We have also learned our campaign in Sirius has failed. A two-pronged offensive launched from Alpha Centauri into Deneb encountered fierce resistance. Unless we can devise a military solution for dealing with the rebels, the GTVA will be forced to recognize the NTF's authority in Sirius, Regulus, and Polaris. Allied engineers, in the meantime, are developing and adapting technologies that will enable us to fight more effectively in the nebula. Dr. Hargrove and her research team continue to study the subspace portal. Their findings have been classified Level 5. Until the situation in Epsilon Pegasi has been normalized, the GTVA will suspend its operations in the nebula.
Yeah, thing you got to understand about the rebels, if you don't, is that those who defected generally took the best military equipment with them. I mean, the main rebel arm is obsolete, as we saw with the Hercules, Mark I fighter, the Loki fighters and so on, but a very significant proportion of the rebel forces, most of which we haven't fought, are using top-of-the-line stuff, and are generally the more experienced of the, well, ex-GTVA members. Thus they put up more fight than their numbers would presuppose.
This is Lieutenant Commander Cordova, leader of the 242nd Suicide Kings. Welcome to Epsilon Pegasi, pilots. NF Station, the Alliance's base of operations in this system, is now under attack. Though we have destroyed the NTC Outrage, the Cato continues to bombard the installation with heavy beam fire.
That's not good.
Evacuation of civilian personnel on board NF Station is now in progress. As you know, civilians are protected under the Beta Aquila Convention, but the NTF has rejected that treaty and its provisions. Fortunately, most of the civilian convoy has jumped safely to the Capella jump node. Your mission is to defend NF Station. As leader of Alpha Wing, you will command your squad mates to destroy the fighters and warships besieging our installation. If the rebels sortie their Zeus bombers, intercept the warheads before they impact the base.
Zeus bombers from Silent Threat.
Allied forces are engaging the rebels throughout the system. As resources become available, they will be deployed to assist you. Until we get these reinforcements, however, holding down the fort is all up to you. This sortie will be the first combat field test of the Perseus intercept fighter. So let's put on a good show.
Alright, chaps.
Please review your objectives for this mission.
Okay, so must protect the station and should protect the transports. Yep, we're stuck in a Perseus. Now, the Perseus is probably my favourite ship in the game, but I'm pretty terrible with it. It just has got a great look to it, and it feels really fun to fly. But I'm not very good with something that can't take a few solid hits on the chin. And that would explain a lot about my piloting skills. Now, we could take the Akiton STG subsystem gun, but that really is only useful when we're doing surgical strikes on enemy ships. We'll be doing a little of that in this mission, so I'm going to take stilettos as my secondary armament. I don't really need missiles for this mission. They help, but they're not vital in any way. So I'm going to dedicate my anti-ship. Oh god, you guys are a bit full Prometheus. Don't think that's a good idea. I'm going to dedicate my missile banks to being anti-capital ship, whereas my weapons are primarily anti-fighter / bomber. Okay, have we got everything in place? Has everyone got two Subarks? And okay, I think we're ready to go.
NTF fighters, you are firing upon a civilian vessel. Break off your attack.
I don't think they're going to listen to that. Okay, beam turret.
Alpha, we need some fighter cover on the Calypso. Hold back the rebels so the civilians can escape.
Affirmative.
Okay, just ordering them to protect the Calypso. There's one stiletto and two stilettos. I should neutralize that beam turret. There we go. Okay. Hostiles. Let's draw a little fire from the Cato. Get it away from the Calypso.
Station here. NTF bombers are closing in.
Okay, I'll take care of the bombers. You guys.
Intercept the bombs before they hit the installation. We must not lose that base.
Okay, what's hitting the Calypso so hard? Nothing, apparently. Doesn't matter too much about the bombers. Taking out the Cato should be our first priority. It's almost gone. The station can take quite a few hits, in case you're wondering. there goes the Cato.
Well done. The NTC Cato has been destroyed.
Okay. We got Cyclops torpedoes heading towards the station.
This is Ennis Station. We have sustained moderate damage. All breached levels have been sealed off. Engineering reports the situation is under control.
Okay, so we can catch up with the Zeus. Just to power off the guns. Ow.
This is the GTVA Calypso. We have cleared Ennis Station. Now engaging subspace drive.
Alright. More bombers. Oh, same bombers still here. Okay. Bit late for that. Okay, that beam was a bit nastily close.
Check your six. This is the Mannheim. We have 7 course. Capella jump node. Activating jump drive now.
Okay, coming up behind us, Zeus. Okay. We're going to target the beam turrets on this. One down. Careful. Okay, another beam turret. Okay. These have 4 on the front, in case you're wondering.
More rebel bombers inbound. Seek and destroy.
Okay. We can't realistically do anything about the Hawkwood ourselves, so pulling its teeth is the best we can hope for. Okay, anti-fighter beams after me, but we'll soon be out of their range. So let's just check the Hawkwood range. Yeah, it's very far away. Should be able to engage these bombers
Engaging your target.
quite peacefully. Okay, and final Cyclops. Right. And you drop the bomb, I'll handle that in a second. Ooh, quite a blast. There it goes. And there's the Hawkwood still. As I said, not much we can do about that. Except
Command, this is Ennis Station. A new wing of bombers has jumped in. Request immediate fighter cover.
Roger that, sir. Engaging your target.
right, so focus on the fighters again. We could fire stilettos at these, but it wouldn't do anything.
I'm reading an incoming jump signature. Configuration unknown.
Commanders of active warship now emerging from subspace. That's a confirmed kill.
Okay, Ares got away, but look at that. It's quite close.
IFF status is friendly. Meet the Colossus, the largest spacefaring warship ever constructed.
Hello.
This is the GTVA Colossus. Fighters stand clear of hostile warships. All batteries, fire at will.
Yeah, it doesn't stand much chance against that.
We have defeated the Hawkwood.
It wasn't really we, it was them.
Return to base, pilots. Mission accomplished.
Look at the size of the Colossus there, as compared to the station. Gives you a bit of perspective. Although it looks like a giant brick.
Colossus, maintain your current position. You will defend Inif Station until relieved.
Is he going to respond? No. Okay, let's go. Yep, so that's the sixth wonder, the Colossus.
Because of your achievements, character, and potential, you are duly awarded the rank of Lieutenant Junior Grade.
Hooray!
In your courageous defense of Inif Station, you were eyewitness to an historic moment. The first combat deployment of the GTVA Colossus. You and your wing also showed us what the Perseus Intercept fighter can do. Against overwhelming odds, you repelled an attack against a facility of the utmost strategic importance for the Alliance. The commander of Inif Station personally extends his gratitude, pilot. I can see you'll make a fine addition to the Suicide Kings. The Alliance has won battle after battle throughout the system, crushing the NTC Rapier, the NTC Explorer, and the NTD Normandy. These victories have stalled the rebel advance, and now with the help of the Colossus, we will push them back into the Polaris system, securing Epsilon Pegasi once and for all. For demonstrating exceptional skill in combat, you are hereby awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross.
And I think that's an award for saving the civilian transports, which is easy enough to do. Could have gotten more kills on that mission if I'd gone in with an anti-fighter loadout, but I like being able to at least do something about those warships. I mean, you can take down the Kato easily enough just by firing at it. Sustained fire, although it doesn't feel particularly realistic to do it in a light fighter. As for the Hawkwood, it is generally better to stick clear. Still, good performance overall. Yeah, all Zeus bombers.
The following is classified level Rho. Unauthorized access is punishable under the GTVA Security Act, Deneb Convention, Section 2135. We vanquished the Shivans in the Great War, but the hard questions remain. How would we confront the threat of future invasion? The Shivans might return at any time, any place, without warning. How would we fight the next threat to the very existence of our species? In 2345, on the 10th anniversary of the Shivan attack on Ross 128, the Vasudan Emperor Khonsu II addressed the newly formed GTVA General Assembly. The Emperor inaugurated an ambitious and unprecedented joint endeavor, the GTVA Colossus.
Together we built a civilization from the ruins of the Great War, and now we stand on the threshold of a new era of prosperity and harmony. In Project Colossus, the Vasudan people celebrate a renewed covenant of peaceful coexistence and mutual defense with our Terran allies.
The Colossus is the most powerful spacefaring warship ever constructed. Spanning 6 kilometers from bow to stern, the Colossus has taken over 20 years to complete. 12 Lucifer-class destroyers can fit within its massive hull. Its state-of-the-art weaponry includes 45 laser turrets, 15 flak guns, 12 missile batteries, and 12 beam cannons. The Colossus wields more firepower than 5 Orion-class destroyers combined. 60 fighter and bomber wings are housed in its vast hangar, and its crew numbers over 30,000. Among its major contractors are industry giants Triton Dynamics, Subak Innis, and the Akaton Corporation. The Alliance now wages war on multiple fronts. In Deneb, Alpha Centauri, Epsilon Pegasi, and the mysterious nebula beyond Gamma Draconis. Once deployed, the Colossus will end these conflicts swiftly and decisively. If ever the Shivans return to threaten our worlds, we will be ready to face the challenge, securing peace for today and for generations to come.
No hubris at all there. Can't see that crashing down on us at any point.